Just gonna go for it. It'll be fine. These fucking chairs. Here soon, I'd like to get different chairs because I'm tired of this making the fucking... What's good, Shack Shawties? We have made it to week 10. I don't know who the hell I think I am being all consistent and shit, but the old me could never. She could never. That's how I know, though, that what I am doing is real, because I care enough to show up and continue to do this even on the days and weeks that I really just don't want to. But, you know, when the grinding gets tough, the tough keeps grinding or something like that, right? I like that. I wonder if that's what they say. Exactly. When the grinding gets tough, the tough keep grinding. It hasn't been very easy for me to keep up with these last few weeks. I'm gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with myself on that. Coming here every week and making sure that I get this filmed, you know, and talking about this progress with you, and even opening up about some things that I typically don't open up about with people, let alone on a public platform. It's a really big thing for me to do. And I knew going into this line of work that tearing walls of mine down was just part of the process. It was absolutely necessary and needed to be done. So I'm glad that I'm getting there. We might be literally putting walls up in here, but surely I am tearing my own walls down in the process. Getting into it! Last week we spoke of the installation process. Installation. Ooh. Installation. It almost sounds the exact same. Installation. Either way. Last week we spoke insulation. This week I want to take it the next layer out and go over putting up the drywall. Alright, y'all know I know a guy, and that guy was Tony, the master of all blue-collar work. Here he is measuring the height of the outlet so that he could cut it into the board. When we reached this part of the building process, he probably did 97% of the work. Lifting drywall's freaking heavy, man. Meanwhile, I was busy getting on his last nerve. But I really did try to help wherever I could, whether it was to hold the wall up.
Let me up that top. On my left. Let me up that top. And motherfucker, shut your motherfucking mouth. Yeah.
I'm just the tool lady.
Or grab the tools.
Getting out of tools.
You said circular saw?
It's down there, maybe in the bottom drawer. Yep, right there, right in front of you.
Right from the face? Right from the face. Here you go, sir. Ooh, you walked too far. Doo-doo-doo. Here we clucked up pretty bad and didn't secure a piece of drywall very well to the ceiling, so it fell and broke and got wasted. She left a pretty hefty mess too, but we managed to get another one up there and got her looking right real quick.
I don't think they're gonna beat this. No, buddy, I'm just getting out of business. Oh shit, bitch, can I get a witness? Help me! Why don't you help me now? Oh, help me! Why don't you help me now? Yeah, I make all my own shit and I'm gonna leave it at that. Thought I was a horse the way I put the team on my back. Thought I was a horse the way I took a beating for that. Thought I was a horse the way my fucking dick looked, bitch.
And anytime we had to work in the staircase, it was always definitely dreaded. So, I'm sure you could imagine why. But he did so good.
23, 27 and a quarter.
I also was the measurement taker. Or writer, I guess.
2 3/4 and 7.
But take a look at this masterpiece. I was a useful string snapper. And string holder. And one hell of a tool grabber. So that was the final piece of the upstairs, to give y'all a look. And then we had to move on downstairs.
Things that we all search for end up finding us. God is like the school bell, he will tell you when you're
Putting up the drywall took anywhere from 10 days to 2 weeks start to finish. And we had a chance to work on it over 4th of July weekend, which helped us out a lot. And I'm just really thankful for Anthony for believing in my vision and helping me bringing it into reality. Because there ain't no way in hell I would have been able to get all this done without him. That, and he taught me so much. I mean, look at all I've done. I did this stuff on my own.
Close measurement. See? That is nice. That. I did that. It's my shit, dog. Right up my fucking alley. I did
Because
that.
let's be honest,
Look how good it
by
looks.
the end of it,
I know.
he was fucking over it.
I'll thank me again for being me and having some patience to do it correctly, in my opinion. I don't know about it, but how do you know about it? Alright, I cut my first outlet hole. Don't worry. I cut my first outlet hole. I did the measurements and everything myself. Let's see if it works.
So we just shimmied that piece of drywall in there, which was 3/8. It was heavy as hell, so it was definitely not an easy task. I just needed to cut a little bit more off the bottom of it to get it to fit right.
But that's pretty cool.
Towards the end of doing all the drywall, I didn't even think to get any content of what it looked like once it was finished. So, but we were both just really glad that it was all done and over with.
I have to make little moves. Putting the drywall was definitely a big, whew. That was some heavy duty work, man, and I definitely couldn't have done that on my own. That was probably one of the main tasks that I had the most help with, was doing the drywall. It was very heavy because we used not only like 1/2 inch, but we also ended up using, I think it was 3/8 inch or something like that, because like specifically in here in the vocal booth is what I'm pointing at. I did 3/8 because I wanted it to be thicker for soundproofing purposes. And I believe we also used 3/8 on the ceiling, on the downstairs ceiling. That way I could kind of try to separate the two areas. That last wall, remember I told y'all I was dragging ass on that last wall downstairs? We finished it last night. I am so glad we are finally in the final steps of getting the building as a whole completed. We finally got the last sanding and mudding, all that fun stuff done down there on that last wall. And Tony primed it last night. He actually reprimed the whole downstairs. So it's ready for me to slap some freaking paint on it. What color am I doing? I don't know. I wanted to go dark like I did up here, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do yet. I actually had a couple of ideas. I thought about actually doing something like completely opposite from up here. So like up here I have it dark. I like the dark concept, but downstairs I had a couple of ideas in mind. I thought maybe like a more colorful, like rainbowy like concept. I thought about continuing on with the entirety of the theme and making it dark. I got like this whole gold, black, gray palette going up here right now. I thought about doing it down there as well, just a little bit differently maybe. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I probably will do something like that. I don't know yet, but I also thought about doing, now I've always liked this like natural earth vibe as well. Because like up here, I've got this whole thing I painted to kind of represent my piece of heaven, my little piece of heaven. I'm thinking downstairs can be like the earth, you know, heaven and earth, upstairs, downstairs. I don't know yet though, I really don't. I'm just glad that it's finally got to the point where I get to start thinking about color and paints and stuff down there. And after that, we're going to think about flooring. Up here, I do not have flooring done. I literally just slapped white paint on it. You know, you can see right here, it's white. Yeah, it's just white paint. Why? Because I didn't want to take the time to deal with the floor right now. I decided, and also while painting, I was like dropping paint on the floor, and I was like, man, I gotta cover this crap up. So I literally just painted the floor. I put a couple of coats of primer on the floor and just called it a day. And I think it looks good for the most part, other than it's white, so if there's any sort of like dirt, or if you walk in here with your shoes, which I try not to, it turns out to be, you can see it, but I mean overall it really doesn't look that bad in here, and it might be an easy fix. Like it could be as easy as me maybe mopping it. I don't know, never tried. I just sweep in here and call it a day usually, because it's just typically me in here. A couple more things we can go over in future videos, but as we near the end of these progress videos, I'm starting to think about what else I can post about. You know, this all started in the studio, and now it's becoming more than just like talking the talk, right? Yeah, I've got the studio, I'm talking about all the things I want to do, and it's going to be more about walking the walk now too. And that scares the shit out of me. I have always been very hesitant about pulling that part of me out publicly and like putting it out there publicly. I was raised to believe that what I'm trying to do here, what I'm going to do here, was very unrealistic. And whether that was supposed to be like a protective measure given to me for them, you know, don't get your hopes up. Regardless, with those videos coming to an end in the next few weeks, you are going to be seeing a lot more different forms of content from me. Today we discussed me putting walls up and how my walls are coming down. I'm hoping to keep these YouTube videos going, maybe in a different way, you know, different form of content. I've also got a project going. I've had it going for a little while now, but it's starting to become more real and come to life, and I'm very excited to announce it in the future. I can't say anything just yet. But I'm very, very, very excited for this one. It's definitely going to be a, what's the word I'm looking for? It was just what the doctor ordered. How about that? Let's say that. Just what the doctor ordered. Also gonna be trying to put my voice out there more. You know, I know a lot of people haven't heard me sing. Some people love to hear me sing, and some people want me to shut the fuck up. So, I don't know, I guess we'll see and let you guys decide that. I do plan on putting more of that out there. I've actually had people reach out to me. They see my content, they see my YouTube stuff, they see my progress videos and, you know, my little snippets of these progress videos on my other social media accounts. And they have said to me like, hey, you're a musician. I don't see anything of you doing music. It's because I haven't put it out there yet. But don't you worry. There'll be more to come. I didn't want to spill all the beans just yet, okay? We have plenty of time. Been thinking too, eventually, depending on, you know, what kind of following that I see growing in the future, I would like to start trying to do some lives, like whether it be a TikTok live, Instagram live. I've never done one before on those platforms. I have done a Facebook live years and years ago just for fun. I've never done a TikTok live though, and I've always wanted to try that and see kind of what's up with that. I don't quite know when to start going about that stuff. I don't know anything about it, but it's something that I've definitely considered trying, you know, just to see what was up, again, what was up with it. Maybe considering some collab work. Now, maybe not so much like in the near future, but it's something I've always thought of. There's definitely people I'd love to do collabs with. There's some people I've thought about reaching out to see if they want to do stuff and work together. There's a lot going on. So collab work just sounds like it's something that would almost like maybe push me over what I can handle right now, maybe. I guess it just kind of depends who. I make time for those who make time for me, basically. And right now I have to prioritize my time to work on what I'm doing right now. No matter how I decide to continue moving forward, my goal is to always remain authentic and true to myself and remain intentional with the content that I will be putting out there. I'm a very firm believer in just doing what, you know, following my heart says, whether that's the move or not, it's what I will be doing. It's who I am. Can't fucking help myself, you know? Can't help myself. So my goal is to definitely remain authentic and intentional with what I am doing here. And in doing that, I have to continue to learn how to allow my walls to come down. It's very scary to put myself out here like this. We're 10 weeks into it and 10 weeks into the rest of our lives here. So it's still, even 10 weeks in, it's still just the beginning. I want to thank those who have remained a part of this journey since the beginning and allowing me to take up about 20 minutes of your time every week. I want to thank myself for being brave and allowing myself the room to grow and understanding that good things take time. I've said it so many times to you guys before. Rome was not built in a day. I don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. I will say I'm going to take a break next week when it comes to posting a video. Thanksgiving's next Thursday. I've got places to go, people to see. So I'm gonna allow myself, after doing this video this week, to take a week off and breathe a little bit. Just because I'm not gonna be posting a video don't mean I ain't gonna be doing nothing. I'm gonna take that time that I've allowed to take a break from doing this form of content to work on other things I've been working on. So if you wanna see what I'm up to, I keep on keeping on, you know what to do. The link's down in the description. Go have a follow and see, you know, if I'm up to any good. Maybe I'm up to no good. Guess that's for me to know and you find out. I'll see you soon.